All right, welcome everyone. Doing another season of mock drafts here on Couch Potato Diary. So what we do with these is I run through the draft position of basically every spot in a 12 team half point PPR, just to see what we can kind of expect for the draft process for the upcoming season. So going to do a bunch of these, one a day for this week, and yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy it. So let's have at it. Again, this is half point PPR. We are going to be team one. We have claimed that. The rest are going to be computer. There you can see there. So, lost it. There we go. Got it back. And let's begin. Yes, I am sure. Ooh, and look at that. We're number one. So I have said before, and for people listening to the podcast, you will hear that I am not necessarily all in on Jamar Chase as the number one pick in the drafts, but he's the number one rated player. This is all about figuring out what strategies work for us, which ones don't. So let's see what happens when we take Jamar Chase with our first pick. So we go Chase. After that, we get a run on running backs. It is Barkley, Bijan, Derrick Henry, Jahmyr Gibbs. Then we get a run on receivers with Jefferson, Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Puka Nacua. The first round ends with Christian McCaffrey, Josh Jacobs, Devon Achane. Then it is Neighbors, Ashton Genty going in the second round. Nico Collins, Brian Thomas Jr., A.J. Brown, Lamar Jackson, then Brock Bowers. So our first tight end comes off of the board. Drake London, Jonathan Taylor, Bucky Irving. And we're back to Trey McBride. So now it is us. A couple available options here. I guess you guys can't really see them all that well in the video. I'll try to change that for next time. But we get Josh Allen is available, Lad McConkey, Kyren Williams, Chase Brown, Tyreek Hill, Jackson Smith-Njigba, and T. Higgins. We're taking a couple of players here. I've said before that I think Lad McConkey is going to be a part of a Chargers offense that kind of puts it together. I'm really worried about not having running backs here. Looking on down the line, there's a couple other running backs that I don't hate, but those ones are probably going to be gone by the time we get there. It's still, boy, it is. You dry up quick when you have this first selection. So let's double up on the running backs and see how it goes. Well, okay, we have a minute here. By the time it's projected, our next pick is going to be gone. Rashee Rice could be off the board. That's one that we want. But Travion Henderson's going to be there, RJ Harvey is going to be there, so a couple running backs that we don't mind, but there's a couple wide receivers that we really do like. So I think we are going to go double running back here. So we're going to go Kyren Williams, and then we'll go Chase Brown. So coming out of this with Jamar Chase, and then you get Kyren Williams and Chase Brown. That's a pretty good. I don't know if either guy is going to be a number one or a number two. Or sorry, if either guy is going to be number one, but they're both going to be very solid number twos. So I don't mind how this has kind of shook out. I was really hoping Burrow was going to come around to me. He has not. So just to let you know, for those who are listening, after us, it was Josh Allen, then McConkey, and Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, the running back, going to team 5. Tyreek Hill goes off the board. Then James Cook, T. Higgins, Omarion Hampton, someone who we kind of wanted. He was gone, picked by team 9. Jackson Smith-Njigba, George Kittle, and then Marvin Harrison Jr. rounds out round 3. At the turn, it's Alvin Kamara. Then we get our run on quarterbacks, Hurts, Daniels, and Burrow, with Mike Evans kind of in between there. You have Terry McLaurin, Chuba Hubbard, Devontae Adams. Gosh, I wish I would quit doing that for those who are watching. Sorry. Then you get DJ Moore, Kenneth Walker, and James Conner. So we are back to the turn here for us. Now, I am very aware that Rashee Rice is going to take some time off of football in the next little bit. So I'm a little concerned about that. But I think when he is healthy and when he is playing, that this guy can be a genuine, legitimate number one receiver. So I'm going to go with Rashee Rice here in the 4th. And then at the turn, we're going to double up and we're going to stack it with a Patrick Mahomes pick in the 5th round. So we didn't get the Chase Burrow stack that we wanted, but I like how this team is setting up. Gonna probably have to go wide receiver again here, just to make sure that we are um, kind of insulated with Rashee Rice going to be missing some time. But I'm feeling good about where we're at. Now, of course, as I say that, we have another run on wide receiver. So after our pick, it was Metcalf, Sutton, Montgomery, another tight end in Laporta, then Devonta Smith, Zay Flowers, Travion Henderson, and RJ Harvey, who we talked about before. Jamison Williams is off the board. Then Joe Mixon, Xavier Worthy. Then in this round, the sixth, Tony Pollard goes first, followed by Tet McMillan, Isaiah Pacheco, DeAndre Swift, Pickens, Kelsey, Aaron Jones goes to team number 6. Calvin Ridley, Chris Olave. One of these times I'm not going to do that, I promise. Chris Olave, and then you get Johnson, the rookie with Pittsburgh, and Travis Hunter goes to Jacksonville. So we're back on the clock here in the 6th round. TJ Hockenson is available for the tight ends. We don't have one of those yet. Hockenson, Andrews, Ingram, and Joku. There's still some time at tight end, so I don't feel a rush to do that. Jalen Waddle might be interesting, kind of insulation with Tyreek Hill having a bit of up and down. Quinshawn Judkins, not overly convinced he's going to be playing football a whole lot this year. Mark Andrews is there. Rome Odunze is really interesting. I think that's going to be a much improved offense this year, given some upgrades they made at wide receiver. I am admittedly nervous about some of the tight ends that are projected to come off the board in this time, so maybe I will go tight end here with our 1 pick. Let's just lock that in right now. So we have tight end to kind of round out our starting roster. And then after that, Jalen Waddle, I think, is the one who is intriguing me the most. Rome Odunze, maybe a bit more of an upside play. Actually, now the more I think about it, I kind of like the offense there a little bit better. And I loved his talent coming out of college. So you know what, Rome Odunze, welcome to the squad. Locking him in as our wide receiver number 3. So on good weeks, he's going to be our flex, and in not so good weeks, he's going to be our wide receiver number 2. Do not hate that as an option. All right, after us, Waddle went immediately. Judkins went as well. Another quarterback in Baker Mayfield. A couple more quarterbacks coming off the board here. Then it was Judy, Brian Robinson, Tracy with the Giants, who I think could be interesting this year. Jalen Warren with Pittsburgh, another intriguing player. Stephon Diggs, Addison, who's going to miss some time. Travis Etienne, then Jacoby Myers, another tight end in round number 8, Mark Andrews. So I feel pretty good about our tight end call because the guys who we were like, okay, they're going to be at us. It's going to be fine. They all come off with Andrews, Ingram, and Njoku. Matt Golden with the Green Bay Packers is off. Bo Nix and Kyler Murray back to back. Holy smokes, I keep going backwards on this as I am the worst with the trackpad. So apologies for that. Ricky Pearsall, oh, that one stings a little bit. Pearsall coming off the board. That would have been a pretty solid pick. So we're back to us now. We have a minute left before we make the turn. Khalil Shakir is available. Tyler Warren, young tight end with Indianapolis. I'm not going to bet on another rookie tight end having a good year. Javonte Williams, I think, is interesting. I think a lot of people are kind of writing him off. Agbuka is someone who I like a lot, man. The running back options are just not here at this point. So I think we're learning maybe lean running back a little bit earlier than we did because it is not stellar, shall we say here, with 45 seconds to go. You know what I actually like? We talked about him as a breakout candidate. Getting him here in the 8th round, a flex option if we need. Otherwise, just a guy. I'm going to go Keon Coleman in this spot. So again, flex option for us or a potential depth piece. God, I really don't like where we're at running back right now here. We only have Kyren Williams and Chase Brown so far. We're in the 9th round. I am going to force us to take a kicker and a defense. So we are running a little bit out of time, but there's just not a whole lot there running back wise that you feel great about. Javonte Williams, Jordan Mason, Zach Charbonnet. So we're getting into kind of the backups here. You know what we might do? Just looking at what's available, there's a couple of guys who are part of timeshares that I think are going to get a little bit of burn here, and that's with Tank Bigsby and with Trey Benson. I think the more obvious spot for volume here is Tank Bigsby. I think there's a chance, like he outperformed ETN last year when you just watched the games, and I think he has a chance to do that again this year. So let's go Tank Bigsby with our selection in the 9th round, giving us a little bit more running back depth. After that, it's Jaden Reed, Jared Goff, Khalil Shakir, Tyler Warren, Zach Charbonnet, Agbuka, who again, I like that a lot as an intriguing option with Tampa Bay. He goes off the board to team 7. You got Downs, another really good pick there, actually, at 8. Herbert off the board, back-to-back Chargers, actually, with Herbert, and then Najee Harris. Back-to-back 49ers then with Ayuk and Purdy. Javonte Williams goes at the start of the 10th, followed by Jordan Mason. Juwan Jennings, who could be interesting. He goes in the 10th. 3 tight ends with Kraft, Jonnu Smith, and Loveland. You get Stevenson, J.K. Dobbins, not going to do it this time, Michael Pittman, Dalton Kincaid, and Higgins there in the 10th. So we are now back at the back end of the 10th round. We have our 3 running backs. We have multiple wide receivers and tight ends. So we are now looking to build the depth up here. Honestly, it might not be a bad, like Darnell Mooney missing some time with that shoulder injury. I think he's going to be a good part of this offense down the road. And honestly, if we could time up Mooney coming in for Rice, that doesn't hurt. I don't love going back to back or going with 2 tight ends, but Kyle Pitts at this point almost feels too good to pass up. But looking at the running backs that are available, I'm not doing a good job of showing you guys here. It's not. I need to try to set this up a little bit better. But Trey Benson is here still, and I think he's going to get actually a pretty good look in that backfield with Arizona. So let's go. Where are we at right now? He's going 150. All right, we got 35 seconds to make a call here. Boy, a lot of quarterbacks still available at this particular time. We're getting into the kickers now as well. Let's go. Yeah, let's go Benson. Whoops, wrong button. Wrong button. Wrong button. So anyway, that's what Benson looks like. For those watching, sorry. There we go. Benson, he is our guy, locked in. And now I will go with Darnell Mooney, another pass catching option for an offense that could be better this year with Atlanta. So he gets locked in as our next wide receiver, helping us kind of build out some depth. So Pitts goes right at, or a couple picks after. You get the run on QBs with Prescott, Fields, and May. So just looking down here now, we have 4 picks remaining. So we're going to have kind of 2 turns left. And the run on kickers has begun. Man, love at that point. That's a really, really good pick. Maybe I should have gone with that because I said before I think that team is going to really step up this year. So it has come back around to us, 12th round. We were hoping, and still there are a couple of options here. So again, guys who are at the back part of a running back kind of duo that I think could be interesting. Ray Davis with Buffalo, if anything happens to Cook, Ray Davis could be a very interesting piece. Also, there is Jerome Ford, who's just kind of the running back 1 in Cleveland, and no one's taking him, and Braylon Allen, the running back there for the Jets. Now, we were on the back part of the kicker and defense run. So kickers available right now. There isn't anyone that's like, oh my gosh, we have to have him to kind of like reach ahead for it. And on the defensive side, there's a couple of defenses that are actually pretty good here. So I think we'll go Broncos because we have some flexibility with a couple of players that we are still interested in. And then let's see, guys who could be gone. I'm getting a guy who's a number 1 running back on his team here in the 13th round. I just kind of have to with Jerome Ford. So we're going to go Jerome Ford right there. Get that. Nick Chubb comes off the board immediately after that. And then another run on running back. So Ray Davis is gone. So maybe we could have had the second one kind of go there as we get laggy now all of a sudden at the end here of this draft. So hopefully everything kind of syncs up and we'll be able to make this work. But we swing back around now to us. We have a couple of picks remaining. We have to go with the defense. It looks like we missed out on the other one that we wanted. Yeah, Braylon Allen was the other one that I was looking for. It goes to the back part, or sorry, the first part, I guess, of the 14th round. So that's a little unfortunate that we kind of took a gamble there and only got one of the 4 that we were looking at. So kind of a good reminder to not mess around with that when there are still some pieces on the board. Just make sure you get those guys and move from there. Let's get away from some of the kicker things that have popped up. Keenan Allen, Adam Thielen, some players available, as is Hunter Henry, Dylan Sampson, Jalen Wright. That might not be a bad one. That can still be a pretty good offense out there. So let's go Jalen Wright with our pick there. And then the random kicker, whoever is at the top. Let's go, Will Lutz. He'll be kicking in thin air out in Denver. So the final picks are going to swing around, and we will figure out what we have with this particular team. So our starting lineup, as this comes to a close, we will have Patrick Mahomes as our starting quarterback. Our starting running backs are going to be Kyren Williams and Chase Brown. Our wide receiver starters are going to be Chase, that's right, and Rashee Rice. Rome Odunze will be in our flex spot with TJ Hockenson as our tight end. And then our depth at wide receiver is Coleman and Mooney. At running back, we have Bigsby, Benson, Ford, and Wright. Our defense is the Broncos, and we also have their kicker in Will Lutz. So that is what it looks like for mock draft number 1. Honestly, don't hate it. Was a little worried there about our running backs, but there are some I'm much more interested in the running backs late this year than I am the wide receivers late. So we've at least learned that. So thank you guys for watching this mock draft. We'll have a lot more mock drafts still to come throughout the campaign.